Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Get Up and Game. This is a proud day, but it's also a sad day, because this will be the last time I ever play my favorite hero, Drax. This was a hard decision to come to, but a necessary one. There are so many heroes for this game, and I just kinda can't stop playing Drax over and over and over again. He's been my favorite hero since the day he came out. Every time new cards come out, all I want to do is see how they work in Drax. Drax has seen a lot of battles. He's taken a lot of scars. He's getting old and the time has finally come. So Drax is getting retired and repurposed. He's ready to move on to whatever comes next in life, but unfortunately it's not going to be with me. But he's going to get as much vengeance as he can on the way out, because we're going to be taking on the Sinister Six in expert mode. So hopefully he's going to get to do a lot of damage before he finally settles down and does whatever in the world Drax would do when he's not punching fools out. So let's get started. I've got Drax in protection today. We're trying out the repurpose energy barrier force field generator stuff. Should be fun. We're going to see how it goes. We have to start with 2 of the Sinister Six villains in play. The way this scenario works, if you haven't seen it, is there are 6 villains, and they all have an activation order. For example, here I have Kraven and Scorpion as the 2 I'm starting with, and they're almost like big minions. They have just a moderate amount of hit points for villains, but they jump in and out of play, so you're going to knock them out, and then they keep coming back in. And there's only ever one that's active, and you go in order of the activation order. Since Kraven is the lowest in activation order, he starts first. And they all have an ability that when they attack and damage you, something happens and then the counter moves on to the next villain. The way we win this scenario is there is this very sizable side scheme light at the end. It starts with 20 threat on it in solo play. And when you clear that, you're going to flip it over and it gets 15 more, as well as a hazard icon. And then when you have defeated this side scheme, you win the game. So this scenario is more about removing threat from here than defeating the villains, but defeating the villains also allows you to remove threat from a side scheme. They all have this special ability: when you defeat it, you get 4 threat from a side scheme, and you can also do 7 if it's the last villain. So you're well rewarded for keeping the villains low, and you're well punished for allowing them to come out. The more villains in play, the worse the encounter cards are. And in expert mode, some other things are harder on the cards as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. There's 2 main schemes. The first scheme has 8 threat threshold. It starts with 2. If we lose that, we move on to the next one, and then if we lose that one, we lose the game. So Drax isn't super good at thwarting. He's brought some friends along to hopefully help him keep that under control. This is probably going to be a long game. It takes a while to win this, especially with Drax, who, like I said, isn't really going to thwart the side scheme so much as just try to defeat the villains to remove the threat. So it might take a little while. This deck takes a minute to set up. But you know what? This is my last game ever with my favorite hero. And that might sound crazy, but I really don't play the other heroes nearly as much as I should, because I can't stop playing Drax. He's so much fun. So I'm not in any hurry for this game to be over. I'm fine with it being a longer game. I hope you'll join me for this very special moment in my life, in my career as a Marvel Champions player. Hopefully it goes well. We'll see. Starting hand, well, we have Drax's Knife. That's always fantastic. And Mantis. We've got an energy barrier, 2 Stubborn to Die, and repurpose. Now, the whole repurpose thing is more of a late game thing, so we're not too worried about that to start the game. We definitely want the Knife and Mantis. And since we have a power of, we'll go ahead and get an energy barrier down. That'll be nice. We'll go ahead and discard these 2. Also, you may have noticed the array of knives around the table. Should probably mention what's up with that. I don't have a Drax playmat, so I thought I would just send him on his way with something I think he would have enjoyed: a fine selection of my very mediocre cutlery. So we're going to add 2 more cards: Intimidation and Jocasta. So kind of a weird start. You always want to see Dweethite Mastery early with Drax, and I didn't get that, but I did get the Knife. So no reason to be an alter ego. We're going to flip over. I have 14 hit points. Drax, if this is the first time you've seen him, he has 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 2 defense. but every time he gets attacked by the villain, he gets to place a vengeance counter on him, and he gets +1 attack for each vengeance counter. And then once he has 3 vengeance counters, instead of getting more, he gets to draw cards when he gets attacked. So Drax wants to be taking a lot of hits, but this is a tricky matchup because the villains, when they attack and damage you, they all do something annoying, so he doesn't want to be taking damage. This deck is designed around defending more often than not, though I didn't get any of those cards to start the game. So we're going to go ahead and use the Power of Protection to get an energy barrier on the table. It's got 3 counters on it that will let me prevent some damage and deal some damage back. And then later in the game, I'll be discarding those to repurpose so that I can ready and deal extra damage. We're going to use Jocasta and Intimidation to get Manus onto the table, and I'm going to hold on to his knife for next turn. I really want to get this on the table. Now, I'm going to use Manus to thwart too. I really don't want to lose this scheme. As much as I don't want to give up one of our activations for healing, Drax needs all the help he can get with thwarting, so we're not going to worry about the damage for now. He can take a hit or two. All right, he's just going to attack for 1 to get this party started, and Scorpion is the scarier of the 2 right now, so we're going to put a damage on him. When he attacks and damages us, he stuns us. We do not want that. And that is going to do it for our first turn. I'm going to hold on to Drax's knife. I'm going to draw a Power of Protection, a Desperate Defense. I'm happy to see that, and Daredevil. Okay. Now we put 1 threat on the main scheme. Now Kraven wants to attack us. He is attacking for 2 plus a boost, and if he damages us, we're going to lose a supporter upgrade, so we'll lose our energy barrier. So I really don't want to take damage here. So what I'm going to do is use Daredevil to play a Desperate Defense. I'm going to Exhaust to defend for 4, and if I don't take damage, I'll ready. And I'm not taking damage, so I do get to ready. I get a Vengeance counter. And so nothing happens here because he didn't damage me, and then my encounter card is going to attack me again. Lovely. Well, now there's nothing I can really do about it. I could defend in the hopes of not taking damage, and I guess I might as well because I'm going to lose my energy barrier if I do take damage. So I'm going to defend. I'm taking 2, and then a life-size decoy comes into play. In expert mode, these things get tough, and its ability is I cannot thwart side schemes. Most of the time, that's not going to be a problem. I'm not planning on thwarting the side schemes. When you defeat one of these villains and trigger its when defeated ability to remove threat from a side scheme, that is not considered a thwart. So this doesn't prevent that. It's still annoying, and I'll probably want to get rid of it at some point, but it's not a big deal. And so I didn't take any damage again, so that was good. And I get a second Vengeance counter, and that is very good. It's unfortunate that I am exhausted. I'm going to use the Power of Protection to get my knife into play to increase my attack. We're already attacking for 4, though I can't do anything right now. Mantis is just going to hang out. I don't want to waste any of her activations. And that is going to be a very simple second turn. Like I said, this deck takes a minute to build up. I'm really just trying to survive until I get my important upgrades and supports into play. Like Unflappable is very important, so we'll definitely want to get that into play. I don't have anything to help me prevent damage this villain activation, so we'll see how it goes. Sinister Synchronization gets an extra thwart, so it's up to 2 of 8. Kraven is attacking again. Because he hasn't damaged me, his counter hasn't moved yet. So I'm going to go ahead and defend again. It's early in the game. This is going to be a long game, so I don't need to be in a hurry to damage these guys. So he's attacking for 2. Again, 0 boost, so I take no damage. The life-size decoy attacks, but he's at 0. He didn't damage me, so nothing happens. And then my encounter card is, Shadow of the Past. This early in the game, that is not good news. That is really, really not good. So Yotak comes out. He has Guard and Retaliate 1 with 5 health. He has a side scheme, Call the Weak, gives each enemy +2 attack. In a multi-villain scenario like this, that's absolutely terrifying. That has to go away. And he has 3 pretty nasty cards that get shuffled into the deck. This is not the start I wanted. Having this come out so early is just going to make the rest of the game that much harder now that these cards are going to be in the encounter deck. But what can you do? All right. Back to us. Going to use Knife Leap to play Unflappable. So now when I can defend and don't take damage, I'll get to draw a card. That's huge. Also, I forgot when Kraven attacked us, I should have gotten my 3rd vengeance counter because it was the third time I've been attacked. So now, from now on, I'll get to draw cards instead. That'll be very nice. And since I can't afford the force field generator, we'll just use it to play limitless stamina. That will allow me to ready my hero. We are attacking for 5. We're just going to go ahead and knock out Yotat, get rid of him. He doesn't retaliate because he got knocked out. And then Manus is going to remove Call the Weak by thwarting for 2, which will deal another damage to her. But we do not want the enemies to have +2 attack. And again, that is all we can do. Slow start, but we've got some of our key cards in play already. If we can just draw that Dweethite Mastery soon, we'll really be in business. Didn't get it yet. Oh, but we did get a parry. Oh, this is a really, really nice hand. We like to see this. Okay, Sinister Synchronization goes up to 3. Craven is still the active because he hasn't damaged us yet. He is attacking. We're just going to let this one come at us. So he's attacking for 2, 3. Deal 1 indirect damage to each player. In expert mode, deal 1 additional indirect. So I'm taking 2 indirect damage. So I'm down to 12. But his actual attack, I'm going to play parry. When you take any amount of damage, prevent X of it, where X is equal to double your attack. So I can prevent 5 or 10 damage. So I take no damage, and that does have the defense designator, so that counts as me defending. So that means I defended and took no damage. So Inflappable is going to draw me a card, and Drax's ability is going to draw me a card. So I draw a Repurpose and a Fight Me Coward. The life-size decoy attacks, but nothing happens. And just draw the encounter card is another life-size decoy. Okay. Kind of a softball, I guess. Well, now we have some very interesting choices. We're going to attack with Drax for 5 on Craven. He has 9 hit points, so that means he has 4 left. And then we are going to play Fight Me Coward. Lets me ready my hero and draw a card. And then the villain is going to attack me. So I drew Intimidation. Now Craven is going to be attacking me for 2 plus a boost. We're going to defend and really hope we don't take damage here, but we just have to get lucky. 2, 3. So I'll use 1 from the energy barrier to prevent what would have been the 1 damage I take. I'll put 1 damage back on Scorpion with the energy barrier. He attacked me, so I get to draw a card. He didn't damage me, so nothing happens with his stuff. And then I'm going to play Payback. That lets me deal damage to the villain after they attack me equal to my attack. That's 5 more damage. That is enough to knock out Craven. That will move the active counter to Scorpion. So Craven goes away for the moment. And remember, when a villain gets knocked out, I get to remove 4 threat from a side scheme. And so we're going to take 4 off of light at the end. Gets that down to 16. Still a long ways to go. But Drax is feeling very nice about getting that vengeance there. We're going to play another Fight Me Coward to ready my hero and draw another card, which is a parry. Perfect timing. Scorpion is going to attack. We're just going to let it happen. 3, 4, 5. But since I just drew that parry, I can play that to prevent all the damage. So I take no damage. I get to draw a card because I'm full on vengeance counters. I draw. Finally, there it is, the Dweethite Mastery. This card is so key for Drax. When this is on the table, every single time I make a basic attack, I get to draw a card. And we're hoping to make a lot of basic attacks. So we're going to use an energy to get that onto the table. So now we're going to play Knife Leap. When you make a basic attack, you get +5 for that attack, and it gains Overkill and Piercing. So that means we're attacking for 10. Since it has, we're going to attack this life-size decoy. Since it has Piercing, it removes the Tough. We're going to do 5 to this, and then 5 more is going to carry over for the Overkill. So that's a total of 7 damage on Scorpion. Not quite enough to knock him out, but we do get to draw a card now for the Dweethite Mastery. We draw some more resources. And I think we really just want to finish Scorpion off. So we're going to play Repurpose to discard a tech upgrade. We're going to discard our energy barrier. That's going to give us +2 thwart or +2 attack or +2 defense until the end of the round. We're going to give the attack, and it also readies your hero. So now we're attacking for 7, which is far more than enough to defeat Scorpion, but we just really wanted to knock him out. We do not want this one on the table because he stuns us. And that means since he was the last villain in play, we get to remove 7 threat from Light at the End. So 16 goes to 9. And since we attacked, we get to draw a card to our Armored Vest. I think we're going to go ahead and have Manus remove 2 threat from the main. We just really want to keep that low. That is going to take her away for a while, but we'll get her back. And finally, we're going to use Intimidation. Well, I could take 5 off of Light, or 7 actually, off of Light at the End because I'm currently... I don't really want to rush this, but this is going pretty well. Far better than my practice games. We're really tearing it up. So I could push that pretty close to being completed. But you know what? I'm just not in that big of a hurry to win my final game with Drax. So we're going to use Intimidation to get an Armored Vest down. You don't want to rush the Light at the End because if we flip it over and then we can't complete it quickly, it does have a hazard icon, so I don't want to be in too big of a hurry. We're going to hold on to a Strength for next turn just because there are some expensive cards in this deck. And that is that. So yeah, we're going to hold on to Strength. I draw a Limitless Stamina, and a Desperate Defense. Okay. So what happens now, we put 1 threat on Sinister Synchronization. You can see there's no villains in play. So now we have to trigger the Ambush ability. It says to choose a set-aside villain at random and put it into play. It becomes the active one. And then in Expert mode, we have to put 2 threat on Light at the End. So it is going to build back up a little bit here and there. So Scorpion's coming back out. We put 2 threat back on Light at the End. So it's up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Scorpion is active. And now he is just going to attack us like normal. So he's attacking for 3 plus a boost. We have 3 defense. And we are going to play Desperate Defense to defend for 5. And if we take no damage, we get to Ready, which we are taking no damage. There's only 1 boost, so 4. So we Ready. We're going to draw 2 cards, one from Unflappable and one from Drax's ability. So we draw a Force Field Generator and an Energy Barrier. And the life-size decoy attacks, but nothing happens there. And then our card is from every direction. In Expert, this is going to surge, and this plays 1 threat on the main scheme for each enemy in play. There's 2 enemies, so this is putting 2 threat. You have to be really careful not to let the enemies build up in this scenario because cards like this really punish you. And unfortunately, it surges because we're playing Expert into I Will Destroy You. You attacks you with +1 attack. If no attack was made this way, the villain attacks you. Scorpion's attacking us again. This is not good. All I can do is defend and hope for the best. If he damages me, I'm going to get stunned, which is really, really not what Drax likes to have happen. So we're defending for 3, 4, 5 as the attack. So I take 2 damage, down to 10. And unfortunately, I am stunned. Going to slow us down a little bit. I do get to draw a card since I was attacked into CITT or Kit, which will help us Ready. And it's back to me. Well, you just hate to be exhausted and stunned. That's not a good place to be. We're going to use the double resource to get CITT on the table. It'll be nice for later. In fact, we'll actually just use it now. We'll discard these 2 to pay for it. You exhaust that to ready a Guardian character. We're going to ready Drax. We're going to exhaust to clear the stun. That doesn't count as an attack, so don't get to draw a card. And then I'm just going to discard this Limitless Stamina. I don't think I need to hold on to it. So getting stunned really, really hampered us there. We're going to ready up. I have 10 health left. The main scheme doesn't look too scary. We're getting near the end of our deck here. Okay, we drew a Desperate Defense. That makes me very happy. Okay. So the main is going up to 5 threat. Scorpion is attacking us for 3 plus a boost. Again, we do not want to get damaged. I would really like to get Drax's other knife on the table, but I think right now Desperate Defense is the right play. So we're going to defend for 5, and if we don't take damage, we ready. Please don't be a 3 boost. It is not. So we don't take damage. We ready. Of course, we draw 2 cards, which leaves 1 left in our deck. We drew a Payback and an Energy Barrier. And we can play that Payback now if we want to. And I think we'll go ahead and do it. So we'll play Payback, and what that does is it lets us deal damage to the villain equal to our attack. So that's 5 damage. 5 damage for 0 seems silly not to do, though I was considering if I wanted to hold on to it for the resource. And then life-size decoy attacks, nothing happens. And then our encounter card is Challenge Accepted. This is going to surge. This attaches to the villain with the highest attack. And after Drax deals 4 or more damage to attached enemy with a single attack, discard this card. Okay, so we just have to hit him for 4. That does give him +2 attack. I think that's not going to be a problem. I have 1 card left in my deck. I'm going to quickly see if I can figure out what it is. I think it might be a Knife Leap. There's 1 Knife Leap. There's 2. Are there 3 Knife Leaps in here or just 2? You know, I was just going on and on about how much I play Drax. You think I would know that. But off the top of my head, I'm not certain. Okay, I'm not just going to sit here and look at all my cards. The reason I'm curious is I'm going to play Brother Voodoo, and he lets me look at the top 5 cards and add an event. I just wanted to know if it was going to be an event, or if I should just play the Energy Barrier. You know what? We are going to play Brother Voodoo. If nothing else, he'll let us thwart for 2. Actually, a smarter way. Never mind. Take that back. We're going to wait. We're going to attack with Drax first, so we can draw a card, and then we'll have more options with Brother Voodoo. That's smarter. So we're going to attack for 5, which will be enough to knock out Scorpion, which gets rid of this terrifying Challenge Accepted as well. And so he goes away. I get to remove 7 threat from Light at the End. So that's down to 4. So we're doing pretty good there. And I get to draw a card. It was an event. It was repurposed. That's okay. I will get an extra encounter card for the villain phase. Shuffle up for deck pass number 2. Like I said, this is going a little faster than I wanted it to for my last game with Drax. But sometimes things really fall in his favor, and he just plays so well. He's so much fun to play. He can be pretty dependent on the cards you draw, of course, like a lot of heroes, but maybe for him even more particularly. He's somewhat singular and focused as he just wants to attack. Everything is based on his attack, but it's just really fun to build up those vengeance counters. It's fun. I mean, look how many cards I'm drawing. Even though he only has a hand size of 4, I'm drawing 2 cards every villain phase thanks to Unflappable. He plays so well in protection, and Unflappable is one of the reasons, and just everything that keeps him alive long enough to do what he wants to do. I've never understood why I love Drax so much. I don't really gravitate towards the attacky heroes, but there's just something about him that has been special to me since day 1. So I really wanted to show him off one last time. He was the first hero I used in my first ever video on this channel, and I'm really gonna miss him. I'm getting a little emotional here. I'm having a lot of fun playing this game, but I had to make the hard choice because there's so many great heroes I never play because I can't stop playing Drax. So I'm just gonna make myself stop, very publicly announce. You guys are gonna hold me to it. I will abide by this vow. After this game, Drax is going back in the box, and I won't be pulling him out to play him again. Now, if somebody else is playing with me and wants to use him, he'll be available for that, but that'll be all. Okay, so we knocked out Scorpion. Sorry about that little interlude there. And so where are we at here? Now I'm trying to decide. I still think I want to play Brother Voodoo because I could really use the thwarting. So we're going to discard Repurpose and Genius to get Brother Voodoo. He's going to let me look at the top 5 for an event. Wait, did I draw a card when I... Yes, okay, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get an event. I don't have anybody to attack really other than this life-size decoy, which I really should get rid of at some point. Intimidation would let me move on. But like I said, once I do that, I really want to have a good push to complete that second half of the side scheme very quickly. I think I might just take a Desperate Defense to have that ready for next turn. So these will get shuffled back in. And I'm just gonna, I could use these two both to pay for kit to ready, but really all I could do is knock the tough off the life-size decoy. Not too excited about that. So yeah, I'm just gonna discard the energy barrier. We're gonna hold on desperate defense. Brother Voodoo is gonna take 2 off the main. We just wanna keep that under control. It's very easy for threat to mount quickly in this scenario. There's a lot of cards in the encounter deck that add threat unexpectedly, so we don't want that to happen. So we're just gonna end right there. I have 10 health. I'm gonna hold on to desperate defense. Drawing 3 more. Daredevil, a knife leap, force field generator, and desperate defense. Okay. Kind of an odd mix. So we're putting 1 on Sinister. We're doing ambush, which means 2 more is going to go on light at the end. So it's back up to 6. Let's see who's going to pop out on us this time. Electro. I don't think we've seen him yet this game. When he damages you, you lose 7 cards off the top of your deck, which isn't great. So he's attacking us for 1 plus a boost. I'm defending for 3. I almost don't even need to use the desperate defense because unless he gets a 3 boost, I'm not going to take damage, but I would still like to ready. So yeah, we're going to do force field generator to pay for desperate defense. So we're defending for 5. He's attacking for 1, 2. So we take no damage. Ready. I get to draw 2 cards. Drax's other knife and a repurpose. The life-size decoy attacks us, but nothing happens there. And so we have 2 encounter cards to deal with. The first one will be Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. This gives each enemy +1 scheme and +1 attack. It has 5 threat on it. And so we definitely don't want that sticking around any longer than necessary. And as long as this is in play, I can't just thwart the side schemes. I can use their ability again, but I can't just thwart. And my other one is, oh boy, Under Fire. It's going to get me 2 more encounter cards. First one being my Obligation. Okay, see? I was worried about things going too well, and the game has obliged to slow me way down. So I can either flip to Alter Ego or not, and then I choose to exhaust to remove this from the game, or I'm stunned, which Drax really hates being stunned. I don't currently have easy ways to ready to clear it. If I flip down, I'm going to lose all my vengeance counters. I will heal some, that's what he does in Alter Ego, but I'd rather not. I think I'm just going to let this stun me. It's a tough choice. I really can't decide what to do, but I don't want to lose all my vengeance counters, build them back up again. So we're just going to be stunned, and that gets discarded. I'm not going to go to Alter Ego. And then my other card is High Fashion in Expert Mode. This card gains Insight 1. That puts another threat on the main scheme. And we're going to put Electro and Kraven into play. But if Electro is already in play, which he is, we have to discard the highest cost card we control, which is probably, yeah, it's Brother Voodoo. Okay, well, that's not terrible. So he goes away. And then if Kraven was already in play, something would happen, but he's not. So we're going to bring Kraven out. So that's another reason why you want to try to keep the villains low. When cards like that come out, if that villain already happens to be in play, it does very nasty things to you. So this is probably my favorite scenario in the game, or top 3. I absolutely love this scenario. It's so different every time you play it. The scenario itself isn't variable in any way, like it doesn't use modular side schemes. So it's kind of the same every time in that way, but they did an amazing job of having everything just flows in a fun way, and it's always very unexpected what's going to happen. And I really, really enjoy it. So it's another reason why I want to play this. It's been a while since I played this one. I haven't done any playthroughs on my channel in a while. I just haven't had a chance. And so this has just all been a really, really fun time. Now, being stunned isn't a fun time. Not thrilled about that. So what are we going to do then? Well, we pretty much just have to exhaust to clear the stun. We cannot let that hang around. Darn it. This repurpose isn't doing me any good because I have no tech to discard. So I'm going to use that. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to do repurpose and Daredevil to pay for kit to ready Drax. And then we're going to play Knife Leap. Now it says it costs 3, but you actually reduce the cost to play this by 1 for each vengeance counter on Drax, so it's actually free. When it says when I make a basic attack, which is what I'm doing, you get +5 for that attack, and it gains Overkill and Piercing. So I'm actually attacking for 10 with Overkill and Piercing. So let's go ahead and take out this life-size decoy. Since it has piercing, it discards the tough. 5 damage gets absorbed here. And then we do another 5 damage to the active villain, so that's Electro. And we get to draw a card for the Dweethite Mastery, which is Payback. We're just going to use Payback to get Drax's other knife onto the table, so now I have Retaliate, which I will try very hard not to forget. Let me slide these up a little bit. Drax is getting a lot of cards on him. I often forget Retaliate, so I'm going to try really hard not to. And that is going to be that. Still sitting at 10 health. Threat is at 5, so I don't love that. Hopefully we draw some good cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fight Me Coward, Intimidation. That can help with some threat and resources. Okay, not great, but hopefully we're going to draw some cards. Now, this is going to 6, and each enemy is getting boosted by +1/+1. So Electro is attacking for 2. I'm only defending for 3, and I have nothing to help with that, but I'm still going to defend in the hopes that he doesn't get a big boost. So he's attacking for 2, +0 boost. That makes me very happy. So I take no damage. I get to draw 2 cards. Oh, there's a Desperate Defense and Energy Barrier. And he didn't damage me, so nothing happens there. I retaliate for 1, so he's at 6 of 8. And I just have my encounter card to deal with, which is, oh, he's going to scheme. No, that's going to do it. Scheme for 2, 3, 4. So that is going to move us on to the next scheme. So what we're going to do when revealed, we're going to choose a set-aside villain at random, put that villain into play, and place the active counter on it. And then in expert mode, you also get a face-on encounter card. So we're getting another villain out. Take back everything I said about how this was going so well. Scorpion's back. He becomes the active. I get another encounter card as a result of the main scheme there. And then this starts with 3 and it only goes to 7. So really, really have to keep an eye on that. And then since I'm still in the villain phase, I'm going to go ahead and have to resolve this card as well, which is Taunting Presence. Attach the villain with the most remaining hit points. That would be Scorpion. And now, as long as he is there, I cannot remove threat from light at the end. So that's not good. All right. What we're going to do, we're going to use the double for green to get the energy barrier down. 3 counters on it. We're going to use Fight Me Coward to play Intimidation. It's going to let us remove 5 threat from a scheme. We're going to remove it from this Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. We need that gone. Oh, you know what? What I meant to do, I'm going to use this Strength to pay for Intimidation. I want to hold on to Fight Me Coward. I'm going to play Fight Me Coward. It's going to ready me, let me draw a card, do another Fight Me Coward, and now the villain's going to attack me. That's why I wanted to get rid of that scheme. I wanted to get his attack lower a bit, because now I'm going to play Desperate Defense. So I'm going to exhaust to defend. He's attacking me. I'm defending for 5. He hits me for 6. This was a terrible plan. But I have the energy barrier, actually, so I take no damage. And he takes 1 from my Retaliate, and I draw a card into a parry. I take no damage, so I ready. And I'm going to attack for 5. And I really want to get rid of Scorpion. So he's up to 6, and I get to draw a card, which is a Payback. A parry. These are great cards for the villain phase, not so hopeful now. I'm going to use both of them into kit to ready and attack again. It's going to take out Scorpion. And the active counter moves to the next villain in sort of the order. And so it goes to the lowest right now. So that'd be Electro. Scorpion goes away. Taunting Presence said, I cannot remove threat from light at the end. I don't know what the timing is here. It says, when defeated, remove 4 threat from a side scheme. I don't know if Taunting Presence leaves play at the same time or if this is still in play. I'm going to play that it works against me just because I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to Grim Rule it there. Sometimes timing is really weird. I think it probably would work where I would get to remove the threat. That probably leaves play at the same time as the villain. But just to be safe, I will not remove the threat there. And that is it for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. I'd really like to get a force field generator down at some point, so this might work out nicely. Sinister Beatdown is going up to 4 of 7. Now I could lose at any time because there are cards in here that just add threat. You know, besides the other advance, there is just plenty of cards that add threat. So I really need to do something about that. Hopefully this intimidation is still in my hand come next time it's my turn. So the Electro is going to attack me. I have a desperate defense. Now when he hits me, you just lose 7 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of okay with that. I have all the cards in play I really want, so I'm not going to lose anything I'm not concerned with. And I don't want to spend resources on defending, so I think I'm just going to let this one hit me. So it's 1 plus 2 is 3. I'll use an energy barrier to prevent 1 of it and deal 1 damage back, in addition to my retaliate, which, hey, actually is enough to knock out Electro. But I do take 3 damage, so I am down to 7. Electro gets knocked out. Counter moves to Craven. That's going to let me remove 4 from Light at the end, so it's down to 2. We're getting there. And my encounter card is Surprise. Gain Surge, cannot be canceled. Resolve the Ambush. Okay, so that's going to put 2 more right back on Light at the end. And somebody is ambushing into play. Which is Electro comes right back, and he's right back being the active. Okay. That's not too bad. Electro is probably one of the least scary ones, so. Oh, and I totally forgot, when I was attacked, I did take damage, but I still do get to draw a card for Drax's ability. So I get Jocasta. I should have drawn that card. All right, well, first thing, we're going to attack with Drax for 5 to draw a card. We always want to see what our options are. And I like Craven less, so we're going to start damaging him. We're going to draw a card from that. Which will be a Limitless Stamina. That could help ready us. We definitely want to play Intimidation, so we're going to use Desperate Defense to play Intimidation. That's going to let us remove up to 5 threat. Now there's only 4, but we want to keep that main clear if possible. We're going to use the Force Field Generator to play Limitless Stamina to ready Drax. Attack again for 5 more. Now this is risky. We're going to push the side scheme, and we're just going to hope that we're set up well enough to survive the extra encounter guards, because that's going to knock out Craven. That's going to remove the last 4 here. It's going to flip this over to the chase side. It's going to have 15 threat on it, and it's going to have a hazard. So got to remove these quickly to win the game. I think Drax is starting to get a little tired. You know, he had Rocket make for him all these tech defenses, energy barriers, and force field generators, because he used to, you know, in his younger days, he would take the hits and laugh, but he's had a lot of battles, and now he needs a little bit of help from these things, and we're not really getting him into play to help him out too much, unfortunately. The whole energy barrier repurpose thing hasn't played off quite as well as I'd hoped it would, but we're still doing pretty well in the game, so it's fine. Now, we attacked, so we do get to draw a card into another Limitless Stamina, but we're going to use that with the Power of Protection to get Jocasta onto the table, and she's going to let us get a defense card out of our discard pile, which is Parry. She is so amazing for Drax, because Parry is such a good card, and her giving you another access to it is just fantastic. Okay, I think that's everything. So Drax is going to ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, we have another Parry in our hand, too. And Manus is back. Okay. So now we just want to deal as much damage as we can to knock out these villains to remove the threat to win the game. You know, in fact, I forgot. I could have used Jocasta. I would have, if I was so excited about getting Parry, I forgot to actually activate her. I would have used her to remove 2 threat from this. So let's say I was smart enough to do that, because I definitely would have had I remembered. Okay. Now we're ready. So this goes 1. Electro is attacking me for 1 plus a boost. I have Parry, so I have no reason to defend. So it is 1, 2, 3 plus, give the villain additional boost card. 3, 4. Place 1 threat on each scheme. Place an additional on the main. Ay, ay, ay. Like I said, they just build up. So he is attacking for like 4 or 5, but it doesn't matter because I can prevent 10 of it. So we'll just do that. And since I defended without taking damage, I get to draw a card from that and also from my ability. So I draw 2 more. Knife Leap, very nice. Now I'm getting 2 encounter cards because of the light at the end here. And one of them is Heightened Morale. This is going to give Electro a lot more attack. And the other is Team Leader. This also goes in Electro. And he's going to have a Crisis icon until I knock him out. Well, that's not going to be a problem. He's definitely going to get knocked out. We're going to play a Knife Leap to attack for 10, which is more than enough. Knock out Electro. And actually, he would have had 1 damage on him from my Retaliate anyway, that of course I forgot. But either way, 10 was enough to knock him out. Since he was the last villain to be removed, we actually get to take 7 off the light at the end. So it's down to 7. These go away. Now if I just had a way to remove 7 threat, I could win the game. This is where a repurpose would be so huge. We're going to go ahead and pay 2 for Mantis. Mantis and Jocasta are going to thwart for 4. That gets this down to 3. That will knock Jocasta out. There's 3 left from winning. All I can do, I'm being really risky there. Actually, you know what? Let's be smart. Let's have one of them remove 2 from Sinister Beatdown instead, just in case the villain schemes or something. So there's 5 on there. We'll go ahead and play another Energy Barrier. I could have spent the resources to ready Drax with Kit, but then all I could do is thwart for 1. I don't think that's really worth it. We're going to ready, and hopefully this will be the last turn. I'm going to have a lot of encounter cards because I'm emptying my deck. So that's 2. Plus 2 more. All right, yeah. Pretty sure this will be the game if I can just survive here. It's a big if, though. A lot of encounter cards. So putting 1 here. We're going to ambush, which means 2 more goes on light at the end. So it's back up to 7. But 7's a magic number. If we only have 1 villain and we knock him out, we can remove it all. So we don't mind that it's at 7. But we're going to have 3 encounter cards. Let me grab that before I forget. So Vulture comes out. He is the active. When he damages us, we have to discard a card. And he is attacking. I don't have anything. Oh, this should be ready. I have energy barriers. I don't have any defense events. I have lots of ways to ready, though. So I'm going to go ahead and defend. I don't want to take too much damage here. Don't want anything stupid to happen. So he's attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm defending for 3, and then these 2 energy barriers will prevent the other 2 damage. 1 goes away. I get to deal 2 damage back to Vulture, plus 1 for my Retaliate. So he's at 3 damage of 7. I took no damage, so I get to draw 2 cards. Desperate Defense and Repurpose. Okay. Now I'm getting my normal encounter card, plus 1 more for light at the end. See what happens. Partnership of Pain. When revealed, the villain with the highest activation order attacks you with plus X, where X is equal to the total attack of all other villains in play. Well, thankfully, he's the only one, so he's just attacking with 2. This is one where if they were all out, this would be a nightmare. But Drax is doing a good job of keeping him down. So he's attacking me for 2, plus a boost, and I still have 2 more encounter cards to survive. And I can't ready to do Desperate Defense. So all I can do, I think I'm just going to throw Manus in front of this. Well, I'm at 7. What happens? I discard a card. That's fine. I'll just let this hit me. 2, 3. So I go down to 4, but actually, Energy Barrier will prevent 1. He takes 2 more. 1 from the Energy Barrier, 1 from Retaliate. I'm at 5. I do get to draw a card. I didn't end up using Manus, so that's a genius. Okay, I have 2 more cards to get through. Taunting Presence. Threat cannot be removed from light at the end. Ah, this is that thing again. I don't know how this works. Dang it. Well, I have to play it the same way I played it earlier, even though it totally wrecks me right now. And it's annoying because I'm probably playing it wrong anyway. And I apologize if you know the rule for sure. Usually pretty good with the rules, but sometimes these timing things are so iffy. And my last card is Surprise. Resolve the ambush ability. No villain was put into play this way. Okay. So it's getting 2 more. Other villains coming out, becoming... Oh, that's okay. Now that kind of helps, actually. The Taunting Presence is slightly less annoying now. So I have somebody else to attack anyway. And that puts 2 more, which I already did. Okay, so that's at 9. Okie dokie. I have 1,000,000 cards in my hand. More than enough ways to win this game, I think. We're going to use a Repurpose and discard Energy Barrier to give Drax +2 attack for the rest of the phase and ready him. So now he is attacking for 7. We're going to go ahead and knock out Vulture, and per how I've been playing it, I'm not going to remove the threat from light at the end, just because I'm not sure how that works. Rather make it harder on myself, just in case. And then I get to draw a card for attacking. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, we got this, because then I'm going to pay 2 to bring out another Energy Barrier. It's got 3 counters on it, but I don't care. So I'm just going to repurpose that one too. So now he has +2 more attack until the end of the phase and ready. So now he's attacking for 9, which is more than enough to knock out Electro, which will remove 7 threat from here. I draw a card, and then we're just going to have Manus remove the final 2 threat from light at the end to win the game. My final game with Drax. He's going to the Hall of Fame, Valhalla, wherever Marvel Champions heroes go when they don't get played anymore. And what a great game that was. Apologies if I missed anything. I hope I didn't make any major mistakes that would somewhat tarnish his final battle, but you know what? I don't even care. That was a great game. Really enjoyed it. Drax being able to one-on-one against the Sinister Six and Expert feels pretty good to me. I think he's such a good hero. I don't think he gets played a lot. I don't see people talk about him too much, so I feel like he's been coming up a little more lately, which makes me happy. But if you don't play Drax much, get him out, especially because I'm not going to be getting him out anymore. Because it's time to give some new heroes some love. X-Men are right around the corner. Of course, I'm going to be playing the heck out of them anyway. I'm going to miss my boy. So yeah, thank you so very much for joining me here on Get Up in Game in this very special episode. If you enjoyed this, thanks for coming along for the ride. I hope you'd be so kind as to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you like Marvel Champions, put out a lot of content about this game. I love it so much. And I hope you'll join me next time we Get Up in Game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.